Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing? Greetings. I see a lot of you in the stream. I see a lot of you have already joined. I know this is one of the interviews that you've been waiting for. We were to do this sometime last week, but well, here we are doing it today. Let me know where you are joining me from and hit the like button as you're coming in. Share out the stream. Today we're going to hear lots of amazing things. We're going to learn from their journey. They've been in the Gambia for so long. They've lived, they've moved. So all those questions that you have for them, I see 23 people in the stream already. So hit the like button as you're coming in and share out the stream so we can have more people participating. So let me know where you're joining me from. I see 33 people, my favorite couple, Sisi, Jojoko. How are you doing? April, Nakmezi, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Black Beauty, always, how are you doing? Thank you so much for joining. Today we're going to be hosting Black Acres of the Gambia. You've probably come across their platform sometime. Bismarck Imare Bwata izo. Yonzina gani wanbandika. So we've probably come across their platform before. So yeah, without wasting so much time, as I'm also sharing out the stream, let me invite Juicy Sweet Mama. I think that's how it's pronounced. Hey, hi.
Oh, say that again. What do I call her?
Sweet Juicy Mama.
That's it. Okay, that's it.
I said it correctly, right?
Yeah, well, I don't pause. You said sweet juicy
Sweet,
mama.
sweet Juicy Mama.
Right. Okay.
All right, all right. I see a lot of people have tuned in. You can start by introducing yourself. So let me remove the what's running on the screen so people can get to see. Okay, go ahead. You can start by introducing yourselves.
Go ahead, sweet mama.
Hi, I'm Cynthia, better known as Sweet Juicy Mama.
All right, and I'm just Rick. I guess sweet daddy. We're here in the Gambia, and we are Black Acres of the Gambia.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. The first time I came across your channel, I think at that time it was a bit small, and I was like, okay, what is Black Acres of the Gambia? So why the name Black Acres of the Gambia? So I was asking myself, like, what is Black Acres of the Gambia? Maybe you could tell us what is that and why the name Black Acres of the Gambia.
Oh, okay. Now, Black Acres of the Gambia, or BAG that we call for short, is basically a cluster farm and a micro city that we're trying to build here in the Gambia. And when we came in 2015, we noticed that there are a couple of things that we were particularly concerned about, and that's importing food from, others. Now,
Mm-hmm.
calm me down if I get too Pan African on you, okay? Just throw me a little thumbs up or something like, or one of these, like, take it down a notch. But anyway, we wanted
Okay.
we wanted to produce our own food here and not only produce it in the raw form, but to add on to it. And in doing that, we wanted to create jobs because a lot of youth were fleeing the country and running to our oppressors. And so we wanted to come in and throw our hat into the ring and say, let's see what type of positive change we can do to kind of curtail that or lessen it or outright stomp it out or stop it. Mm-hmm. So that's what Black Acres is. We grow our own food, we process it, we turn it into different things, handling meat and things of that sort. So it's sort of like a little miniature city.
We didn't want all the chemicals.
Right, the GMOs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Talking about that, so what's the plan? How big is the city that you're envisioning?
Okay, right now it's 26 acres. Because we're considered foreigners, they would only sell us so much per purchase. And so as we continuously purchase, it's connecting. And so the end goal is to at least have 60 acres, and then we'll start jumping around the different corners of the Gambia, north, south, east, west, before we start jumping into other countries. So right now it's 26 acres, but as we continue to purchase land that connects to it, it'll be 60 acres.
All right.
In the primary location, in the primary location, which you see all the videos on.
Okay. Someone is saying the volume is a bit low. I don't know because I can hear you clearly. Can you hear them clearly in the comments? Let me see. Or maybe the person needs to turn their volume button up. If you can hear Black Members of the Gambia correctly, type 1 in the comments. If you can hear them correctly, just type 1 before we proceed. Okay, someone says their volume is fine, so I'll go with that. So I think the person, and you just check on your volume in case you cannot hear them very well. So you moved to the Gambia in...
And if I need to speak louder, let me know.
All right. So you moved to the Gambia in 2015. So that is about almost 5 years, over 4 years now. Why the Gambia?
Well, we came for a visit in 2015 for 2 weeks, and we kind of saw some things, and I saw a lot of potential. She didn't like it. She was threatening to leave me and stuff like that. So I had to twist her arm a little bit and stuff and put her in a headlock. But I finally got her here in 2016. And so we've been here since June 2016. We just went over 4 years here. So I'll let Sweet Juicy Mama answer, or you want me to keep going while we pick the Gambia?
Well, you picked the Gambia, so because I didn't know what country he had picked. I knew he wanted to leave, but he didn't exactly say where in Africa that we were going at the time.
Right.
You picked Gambia.
Right. I had picked 3 countries. You know, I did a lot, about like 6 months of research and talking to people and asking, hey, you know, we get ready to make this transition. Tell me a little bit about the country and stuff like that. And I started watching YouTubers. The first country was Gambia. The second one was Tanzania. And the third one was Zimbabwe. And I like Kenya, but I hadn't heard of you then. If we would have heard of Kenya, you'd have made the list. I mean, if we would have heard of you, Kenya would have made the list.
Okay.
We picked the Gambia because we saw a lot of potential here, and the cost of living, like we talked about earlier, was really inexpensive, and it's closer to Burundi. Exactly. You know, it's really inexpensive here, and so that was a major plus on stretching, you know, the income.
And we like what the former president was saying about the food.
Right. Yeah. We like what the former president was saying. So he was a major plus in coming here. And then when he lost power, we get ready to come to Kenya.
So was Gambia the first African country that you ever visited?
Okay.
Was Gambia the first African country you ever visited?
Oh no, I'm an ex-military guy, and I've been to Egypt, I've been to Saudi Arabia, I've been to Iraq and Kuwait. You know, those are cleverly disguised as cleverly disguised as the Middle East, but actually they're on the North African continent, and so I classify those countries as Africa.
Yes, it was the first for me. Yes, it was actually the first plane ride for me when we came to visit.
So yes.
And since you visited the Gambia, you decided that we're going to settle in the Gambia. Have you visited any other countries?
Yes, we've been to. Well, actually, we want to visit all the West African countries before we start making our way to the East African countries. So in the 4 years, we've been to Senegal and Guinea-Bissau. And I got into trouble in Guinea-Bissau and didn't, you know, barely got out of there and stuff. So we've been to 3 countries in 4 years.
I'm hoping when you start the East African one, Kenya will be the first.
Absolutely. We know you now. So yeah, definitely. We just got to save up our money. We got to save up our money because it's expensive in Kenya.
Not very. You cannot compare it to probably the US. It could be more expensive than Gambia, but not very, very, very like extremely.
Did you say the U.S.?
Yeah.
What's that? Okay.
Okay. The America.
Oh, that place. Oh, okay. You know, when bad things happen to you, you want to forget them and move on. And so when people say the U.S. and America, I have to remember, what are they talking about? And so thank you for
Uh-huh.
reminding
I
me.
see. I see. And what inspired you to make the move to Africa? Like, did you just wake up one day and say, "Fine, I'm done here. I'm going to Gambia," or like, what really inspired you?
We were fed up with that country you just mentioned.
Yeah. But the real reason why we came to the African continent is we love Black people. And we were fed up with people that didn't look like us.
Mm-hmm. All right. Mystik, thank you so much for the super chat. I really, really appreciate the super chat. So tell us about your experience the first year that you're in the Gambia.
Oh
But
my
wait,
God.
but wait. I'm curious about something now. I see a dollar sign now. Is that coming to us or that's going to you?
Don't worry, I'll give you some.
I'm just curious now. We're new to YouTube and we're learning, but I'm just saying I'm going to be looking for that if that's coming to us. So that's why I asked.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you once we're done with the stream. You have my contact. I will tell you. I will give
Okay.
you some.
Okay.
I'll give you some. Okay.
Okay, got you. What was the question again?
Tell us about your experience the first year in the Gambia. How was it?
I'm going to let Sweet Juicy Mama start that.
Mine was very sad.
Mm-hmm.
I had never been out of America. I have never really ever been out of Illinois or Tennessee, like, you know, with the airplane. And it was a culture shock for me. I guess I was so used to being with everything being convenient to me in America, living that illusion lifestyle. When you came to Africa, it wasn't there. It wasn't here, and I didn't see it. I'm like, I remember when I first got here, and I'm looking like, where are the hot dogs? Where is this? Where is that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that convenient again wasn't there for me, and I was not ready to open up. I had just got here, and I just was really didn't want to be here because it was really mainly his dream of getting here first.
Right.
Until he introduced it to us, and it was like, I don't think we should be. We've been in America all our lives, and just to leave like that, it was crazy. Right. So I didn't open up for a while. So it was a culture shock to me. But once I did, I don't ever want to go back.
Right. Well, that was her story on the first year here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, African
Yeah.
Tigers, I'd like to ask you a question now.
Yes.
Have you ever been in prison?
Been to?
Prison.
No.
Okay, great. That was my first year in the Gambia. I was out of prison.
Oh, in summary, that was it.
Yeah, so I had my freedom. I had the
Mhm.
opportunity to sleep soundly at night.
Uh-huh.
There were no police to say, "Hey, what are you doing here, boy?" or something like that. They would always greet me and say, "Hey, how are you?"
Mm-hmm.
And the only offensive thing that happened to me my first year here in the Gambia was they kept referring to me as an American, and they kept referring to me as a Tuba.
Mm-hmm.
And so my whole life I wanted to run away from that sort of deal. But when we came here the first year, they kept referring to me as the American. And they even do it now, much to my dismay. Now, I understand I was born there, but if a kitten is born in a stove, it don't make it a biscuit. So my point is, even though I was born there, I still feel that I'm an African, and on the African continent is where I belong. And it's such a beautiful place to see melanated people that look like us and you.
All right, that's awesome. You mentioned prison. I'm like, no, like I would never want to be in prison at any point in my life because I can imagine the conditions being in a prison. So,
Yeah. Okay, well, so
Living in America, that's the way it feels.
yeah, it's a prison. It's a prison, but the illusion is that you're free.
Yes.
And when you
Mhm.
step out of your boundaries, then you know that you're in prison by being harassed by the police or the government or things of that sort. So there are constant reminders that you're in prison, but because we've been there so long and we've been conditioned to enjoy it, it's hard for us to believe that we're in prison. So when people like us say, hey, it's a prison there, you walk around scared half the time when, you're driving, obeying all the rules, and you see a police behind you, there's fear. Is this guy going to pull me over and shoot me? Those are prison conditions. And so, when you no longer want to tolerate the prison conditions, you'll come over here to Kenya or to Gambia or the other countries on the continent.
Not only that, you're worried about when you send the children to school, what's going to happen.
Exactly.
I mean, it was really crazy there.
Right.
Mhm. So maybe a little bit about the details of coming from the US to the Gambia. First, do you get visa on arrival, or did you have to get your visas from America before you came to the Gambia? And were there like vaccinations or shots that were required as you were getting into the Gambia?
Okay, well, the first thing we did, now, once we decided we wanted to move to the Gambia, we waited for all America to go to sleep. And when they went to sleep, we quietly boarded that plane and got out of there. And I'll let Sin take it from there.
No, there's no requirement of the vaccinations to have. I mean, some people say that you need them, but we really didn't need them when to come to Gambia because I don't think Gambia, put it there that you have to have them before entering into their country.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're in America, they tell you that you should have these shots,
Right.
but you don't necessarily need them.
Right. They want to load you up with those fees.
Because they're very expensive over
Right.
there. Too.
They want to charge you for a visa there versus you coming to the Gambia and getting your visa in the airport.
Right. When you get to the airport here in the Gambia, you can purchase your visa
Right.
at the airport.
And they want to hit you with the vaccinations and tell you need all this. We recommend that to you. And when you get here, you find out that you don't need those. Yeah, exactly. And so even if you're bringing animals, they want to vaccinate the animals too. And they tell you, hey, you can't bring any animals into the country unless they get vaccinated too.
And that's not true. With Gambia, they just welcome any animal.
Right.
They don't say that the dogs need the shots or anything. But when you when you go through the ones in America, they're gonna ask for it for the animals. But for humans, they don't ask for shot records.
Right, I agree.
So talking about that, did you have to ship your items, or did you just move to the Gambia and start buying everything, like household goods and all that?
Right. Well, when we found out that we was going to escape America, when they went to sleep, we stayed in a house for 20 years. It's about like about 1,800 square feet. I was going to chop it up in bits and pieces and put it in a 40-foot container and ship it to Africa, but I got an offer I couldn't refuse. So basically, everything that we could pack up and afford to send over here, we put it in a 40-foot container. Now, we're not rich as African tigers, of course, but we so what we did was whatever we couldn't afford to ship in those two 40-foot containers, we put in storage for 2 years till we could go back and get it. And we just went back in 2018 to get it. But
we got everything, closed it out. Yeah. There's nothing there but family.
Right. And so basically, we kept asking people, hey, how do we ship stuff from America to the Gambia? And some people were helpful and some weren't. And eventually we got the name of a Gambian who was shipping stuff from America. And he kind of bamboozled us and helped us to ship stuff to the Gambia from America. So it was a trying and learning period, but
we got it done.
We got it done. And when we went back in 2018, it was a lot smoother than that initial trip in 2016.
We had initially we had 2 containers when we first left.
Right.
Then when we went back in 2018, we had 2 more containers.
Right. And so when we go back,
so how much did it cost you to ship the containers? Now, after you've learned the experience, maybe for someone who's interested in moving to the Gambia, like maybe briefly, how do they go about it? Which company can they use? How much does it cost them to ship to the Gambia?
Well, the first time it was about a little over $4,000.
About $4,000
for each container.
Each container.
And then the second time it was about 3,000 something each container.
Right.
But again, once you get here to Gambia, there is fees to once you pick up your container.
Right.
And that's probably another 2,000 each for those 2 containers.
Right. And one thing that we didn't fully comprehend when we was making the move initially was when you're packing those 40 feet containers,
don't leave any area.
Don't leave any space.
No.
I mean, you should jam pack it as much as possible, because when you leave space or air in there, you're losing money. So if they're going to charge you a certain amount, I mean, you want to fill it to the brim and pack it where, when you open it, stuff is falling out. That's the proper way to pack those 40-foot containers.
Because our first containers, we had so much space. We didn't know what we were doing. This was our first time doing it.
Yeah.
We had so much space in there. We were looking like, wow. Oh, well, I guess this is how you do it.
Right.
When we got the container, it was like stuff flipped all over the place.
There was so much space.
We were learning.
Yeah, but we took it on the chin because I said, hey, nobody is giving us these answers. And if you look at our channel, you see we try to provide you in-depth information. So if you're following in our footsteps, you know exactly how to do stuff. And in the first 10 or maybe 20 videos, details on how we got up out of there and what we did when we made it here.
Okay. So did you, there's a point I missed. Did you say that when they arrived in the Gambia, there's also a certain fee that you had to pay to get them from the port?
Right.
Yes,
$1,000 per container.
Say that
$1,000.
There are a lot of fees that you pay when you go to the port. And I mean, they charge you everything.
Yes.
They charge you workmanship fee. They charge you police screening it for weapons and drugs, and they scan you just to stand there and look at them. I mean, there's virtually a fee for everything. You know what I'm saying? And so they kind of like mushroom that up to about $2,000, but you got to pay that to get it out of the port. And if you don't pay, then they charge.
There's a late fee. You get when you once the container has arrived, you get 7 days, I believe.
In the port.
In the port. If you hadn't picked it up in 7 days, then they'll charge you a late fee. And I think it's roughly about maybe $40 to $50 per day. Until you pick that container up, you will pay a late fee.
Right. Now, I'm reading a question across the screen. Do you want me to answer that or wait for you to ask?
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can answer since it's related before we go to the next question. Okay.
They said, well, did we bring our items to the container, or did they bring the container to you? Now, again, this was our first time doing it, so we didn't know. We just wanted to go with the cheapest rate. So we were like, bring the container to us now. But what they don't tell you in bringing that container to you, it's about like maybe 5 meters off the ground. So if you're packing a vehicle like we did,
you're not getting that
vehicle 15 feet in the air. So we decided to drive to them about 2 hours away and loaded through a warehouse. So we drove the vehicle straight onto the van, onto the trailer, and shipped it over here. So again,
it was very hectic when we was leaving. Oh my God, it rained so bad.
Yeah.
We lost a tire running down the highway. I'm driving and I'm looking like, wow, someone lost their tire. Come to find out, it's our tire.
It was our tire.
I mean, we went through so much to get those containers. We had to drive from Clarksville, Tennessee to Memphis, Tennessee to get those containers out and put them in that. Put our things in those 2 containers.
Yeah, that's about a 2-hour drive. And somebody said, "Can you put a car inside?" But no fuel though. You can't put a car inside.
You got to make sure it's empty.
No, I don't think it has to be empty. It has to be very low.
Yeah, very
low, just enough to get it out of the container and drive to a gas station. But they don't want you to put it in there with a full tank of gas because they need room for expansion when it's on the water and all that stuff. Expansion. So it doesn't have to be empty of fuel. Just very low. I'd say probably a quarter tank or less.
All right. Are there restrictions on what you can ship? Can you bring personal protection weapons for security?
I sense that is a governmental question, and I'm not going to answer it.
We know nothing about the weapons.
But seriously,
I don't think you can bring those.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
You're not. They will scan once they get to Gambia.
Yeah, you're not
They're
supposed
going to X-ray everything.
Yeah, you're not supposed to bring those weapons into the pleasant and beautiful country of the Gambia.
Mm-hmm. So what challenges did you face when you first got into the Gambia?
The challenges that we faced when we first came to the Gambia was hey, where you go? Hello?
I'm here. Just carry on.
I thought you had smelled my breath or something. But anyway, the challenges that we faced when we first came to the Gambia was my family wanted to leave me. My daughter, my sons, they were so upset that I had brought them here. They was literally threatening to return back to America without me. And so, I had to dig into my bag of tricks and exercise some leadership skills and threaten to take their passports. So they stayed, and here we are.
Well, actually, I think one challenge, it was our first time. We had just made it here in June. We was entering raining season.
Rainy season, that's right.
We didn't have a car, so we was walking pretty much everywhere.
Right.
We went, and one day we walked, it was pouring and raining. We just walking, no shoes in the water, just walking down the street. We had to sign the kids up for school, walking. It was a long walk. It was crazy that day. But that's the only challenge I know.
That's right.
Okay.
Oh, we did. It was the lights was going out pretty heavy back then.
Do the lights go off in Kenya?
Not very often, but yes, sometimes it happens. But not very, very, very often. You can have like a whole day without power, but most cases when there's no power, you get notified. So if you follow like the Kenya Power and Lighting Company page, they always update when they are doing upgrade or wherever, and they tell you from this time to this time there'll be no power. It will come back at this time. So yeah, you can plan around that.
Okay, but that's probably the same here then. Yeah, but we kind of got tired of that scenario, so we bought a generator. So in the event that it does go off, we'll run and fire the generator up, and then hopefully we can resume. And we also got some solar panels that we keep in storage until we move out the bag, so we can keep it going 24/7.
Okay. To everybody who's in the stream, kindly hit the like button. Hit the like button, support the stream, hit the super chat. That is the $sign as you are about to comment. I share some with Rick.
Share. Yes. We like sharing.
Yes, we do. We do.
Yeah, support the stream with a super chat. Hit that $sign, and then just put an amount that you want. Oh, strange fruit! Thank you so much. Strange fruit, just
wow.
Thank you, strange fruit.
Okay.
Thank you so much, strange fruit. The next question I had is now they all wanted to go. They wanted to leave. Did at any point did you ever feel like, now I'm done, I'm giving up on this? Did you feel that you needed to give up?
I came close, and I said, okay, fine. Y'all don't like it. I'll give up my happiness, and I'll go back to prison just to make y'all happy. And then they thought about it, and they said,
we're here now. We might as well
deal
with it.
Yeah, I knew that I could win them over. I just needed more time. I just needed for them to get acclimated or to become accustomed to what's going on. And when they came in, they had that culture shock. Now, see, me, again, being ex-military, I can go anywhere and I can fit in and, it's no big deal. But my family, having not experienced living outside of the United States, had a problem. So I just had to find a way to cuddle them long enough for them to value being around people that look like them. And when that finally kicked in, man, that was it. Right now, it's like you gotta, they don't want to go back to America. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Mm-hmm. Gussie, Mama, did you ever feel like I'm done with him? I'm going back. He can remain.
Yes, when we moved in our first apartment, I literally cried on the side of the bed. He said, "Don't cry now. If you really want to go back, I'll just go back." I didn't know what to say when he said that. So, cause I'm like, now if we do go back, I know what's back there. And I didn't like it when we were there. We literally worked 24 hours a day. I mean, we worked so much, it was just, I didn't want to go back to that. But I didn't at that time want to be there in the Gambia either. But yes, it was crazy.
And what do you miss most about America?
Myself?
Yes.
I think it's just memories with my family. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Being there, I don't really miss anything about America other than my family. The memories I have in my heart, and it would always be there. And that's what sometimes, I sit back and I think of family. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing else.
Rick, what do you
Jesse,
miss?
what I miss about America?
Yeah.
What I miss about America is the opportunity to get your passport and leave.
Okay. So at what point did you now feel, how long did it take you to feel settled and say, okay, especially at GC Mama, since you felt like it was a tough one, at what point did you feel like, okay, fine, now I'm good, I'm settled, I'm here? How long did it take you before you felt at home?
It took me about maybe a year and a half. I don't know why it took so long, but one day I said, we're here and I have to live with it because I didn't want to go back to where we were at. And I said, let me get out. We didn't have the vehicle at the time. So I would walk to the beach or just take my backpack and go to the markets. I didn't know the language. I didn't care. As long as I could do, if I wanted something, I could touch and talk, tell them. But I just went one day, went to the market and I looked around and I said, looking at all the beautiful blackness that was there. And I said, I think I can, live with this. Because in America, there was no hey, hi, welcoming me there. It wasn't there. So I started to just live with it. And then that's it.
Right.
What about the baby? Oh, go ahead.
No, somebody said if you receive VA benefits, can you live there? Yes, you can.
Okay. What is VA?
Veterans of Administration. If you're a soldier or something like that and you suffer from some type of disability or retirement or things associated with the military, you can collect your benefits and income over here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
VA, Veterans Administration.
Okay. And how long did it take your babies to adjust?
For me to adjust?
The children.
Oh wow.
The boys were quick.
They was quick. The day we made it to the hotel, they were lost.
They were missing. They were missing in action. We were like, hey, we was running around the neighborhood.
Yes.
Have you guys seen our children? They're like, don't worry, they'll be back.
And we're looking like, who are you? How do you know my son?
So we were calling back to America. Have y'all seen the boys?
They partied every night. They loved it.
Finally they came in about like 2:00 in the morning, and they've been like that non-stop. The girls were a little bit more reserved.
No, my daughter, I think she cried so much. She tried to convince me of getting on Rick to leave. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, the only reason why you want to go back is because you miss your friends and the school system was set up the way it was in America. She didn't like it at first. But then she started to get into, meeting other people, and I think that's what brought it on with her.
And she love it now. She's an internet sensation.
Yes.
So
I watch
I
her
don't think
channel.
she
Wiki Dennis. I watch her channel.
yeah. She's working it.
Yes. Before she became that internet sensation, she was thinking about leaving before the COVID hit. She was actually going to go back to America. She wanted to go to college there. And then I don't know what happened. That all of a sudden, it changed. She said she don't want to go back.
Right.
Oh, that's awesome. At least she's not going to be around with you. Now, how was the community reception when you go to the Gambia?
Well, I felt they were very receptive to us. Now she says I talk too much. Tigers, if I start talking too much, just give me that little signal, like take it down. But anyway, I would run my mouth and I would meet people say, hey, how you doing, man? Hey, I've always wanted to come here, this and that, and this is what we're gonna do. This is why we're here. And she's like, stop telling these people what you're doing. I said, but I want them to know. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, they were very receptive, and a lot of them probably said, this guy's a loudmouth. He's not gonna create any jobs for us. He's not gonna do any of this Black Acres of the Gambia stuff that he's running his mouth about. And so now the very same people are saying, wow.
Yeah, he actually doing it.
Yeah, they're actually doing it and stuff like that. So
I think they was very receptive of us. They love the kids. They always looked out for the kids. Wherever the kids were, they knew. I don't know how they knew, but they knew. If you're looking for your sons, they're there.
Right over there, yeah. And so they were very receptive. But Tigers, I'm going to let you finish reading that question.
Pardon?
Oh, okay. Okay.
I didn't get that.
But we as African people are friendly.
Yes, very.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I think we're too friendly. That's how people take advantage of us. But they were very receptive to us, and we were receptive to them. And so we just had to get over some of the barriers that they tried to throw between us to keep us separated. But apart from that, hey, one Africa, one love. Yes, U.S., you can't even get our passport now. I love y'all. That's okay. Hey,
we love you too.
We love you too. First chance you get to get it, please get it. But when we came over here, people kept saying, you guys left. We was like, we left because we sensed that things were going to get worse. And we were telling people, get your passports before they take the privilege away. If you go back and look at our earlier videos, we kept saying, get your passports, because they're going to stop it.
And they're going to lock you down.
And guess what?
It happened.
They can't get the passports, and they're on lockdown. And so those that are looking at this video of the awesome Tigress, we're telling you now, it's going to get even worse. Get your passport, get your business in order, and get out. You want to answer that one, sweet mama?
Did you guys have a spiritual experience the first night you were there?
The first night, I felt a sense of relief, and like I said previously, I was escaping prison. So yes, I did feel a spiritual experience. I did.
I think I still had that negative, illusion with me to accept that spiritual experience. So I probably would say no, because I couldn't see it at that time.
And have you now learned the languages? Which languages do you speak? Do you speak any local language?
Small, broke up.
What, babe?
Local language.
Oh, we pick up bits and phrases then and stuff. Yeah.
Jeff, Mumphy. That
means
certain things. How are you doing? No, to be honest, we haven't learned it yet.
No, not yet. But when we start making the kind of money that you're making, Tigress, we'll get a tutor.
I wish I was. I wish I was making as much as you imagine I'm making.
The only one who speaks the language is my baby boy,
yeah,
Raheem.
The boys picked it up because they're always out, and so they picked up the language a lot quicker than the rest of us. Yeah.
How many children you have?
We have 7. The four youngest ones are here with us. The 3 oldest ones are still in America.
So we got 7 total. I'm not sure if they're all mine, by the way.
I'm not even sure if they're mine.
What do you wish you knew before you moved to the Gambia?
The life was this beautiful.
Right. You know, they say a lot of stuff to keep us separated and divided so they can conquer us. And so if there was a YouTuber out there that would actually say what we're saying in our videos, we'd be like, hey, wait a minute, this place isn't so bad. But there weren't any videos out there that was putting out the content that we put out there. I mean, we show you everything. And so there are a ton of people that say, man, we coming because we see. But we say, come for that visit and then make your decision there. So we wish that we would have knew more about coming over here to take out some of the guesswork, because we had to go through a lot of trials and errors. And so we had to learn stuff the hard way.
Okay. Kindly hit the like button. We have 294 people watching. Hit that like button, support the stream, hit the super chat. Let's have at least 294 likes in the video. So I have a couple of questions here. So I'm also picking your questions in the comments as we are continuing. This is more like a Q&A. So we want to know everything about Black Acres of the Gambia, as much as they let us know.
Well, there's another question, Tigress. Someone says I have social. There's another question. Someone says I have Social Security and VA benefits. Can I live there without another source of income? Absolutely.
Yes.
Now, it just depends on what do you want to do. Are you content with that income, or do you want to develop an exponential income? You understand what I'm saying? If you want to settle for the fixed income, fine and dandy, you can make it.
Yes.
But it just so happens that some people want to develop African Tigers type income, exponential type income. So we're always out there looking at other ways to make income.
Okay, from understanding, you still pay taxes in America. Is that right?
Yes, if you're developed, once BAG comes online and develop as a legitimate business out there, yes, we have to pay taxes on that. And we're YouTubers just like you, and as you receive income, yes, you have to pay taxes on that. So they are taxing us even though we're in a different country.
Okay.
Yes.
My next question is, how did you go about buying the land?
How do we go about buying the land? Well, we was talking to a professional friend of ours, and well, first of all, like I said previously, once the president Yahya Jammeh lost power, we were getting ready to come to Kenya, and so they was telling us, no, wait a minute,
Stay.
yeah, stay. Let's see what this next guy's like. And so once we found out what the next guy was like, we still wanted to come to Kenya. So they said, no, stay a little bit longer, So anyway.
Just don't buy yet.
Yeah, just don't buy
yet. They kept telling us not to buy land yet.
Right. And so we're like, hey, wait a minute now. We came over here with a plan to be established by a certain time. And so we said, we're looking for land, or, we basically about to move to Kenya. And so they took us out to some land and we saw it. And they introduced us to the owner. And that's how we've been buying the land. From the owner.
What we thought was the owner.
Yeah, but there was a middleman who had inserted himself into the picture. So he would inflate the price and he would pay the owner less and keep the profit. And so we kind of moved him out the way, and now we deal directly with the owner.
Okay, and so what are the challenges? What are the challenges when you were purchasing the land, and how did you settle on a particular piece? What made you see this and say, now this is exactly what we want?
Well, when they first took us to the land, we was like, hey, wait a minute, this is way out here. It's kind of like, you're off by yourself. Now, that's what we wanted to stay in the rural area. We didn't want to stay in the big cities like Gunju or Sarakunda. places like that, or Bigelow, the built-up areas where the uh, the I'm trying to remember the phrase that Kenya uses. Is it the Nguzu?
Mzungu.
Miguzu?
Mzungu.
The who?
Mzungu.
Yeah, that's right. We wanted to move as far away from them as possible. And so, anyway, as they took us into the rural area, it was okay. But we was like, wow, this is kind of off from the main road. But then when we saw the body of water, the river,
it opened us up.
we said, yeah, we'll take this. It's right off the river. And we're trying to buy up that whole area where, basically, it's kind of like we have our own little river. I mean, it's public. Everybody's entitled to it, but we're out there kind of right off the river. So it's kind of like we got our own little private river.
Okay, and what was the process like? Someone who's moved to the Gambia and they want to buy land, how would they go about it?
Okay, now, because there are a lot of con artists here, you have to ensure that when you're purchasing some land, that the land is available. A lot of swindlers here like to sell land that's already sold. And so the process that some people like to recommend is that you get a lawyer. Now, we've always felt that we're knowledgeable enough or could seek the knowledge where we don't need a lawyer. And so what we found was once you enter into an agreement to purchase some land, there's a series of steps that you have to go through. And one of which is through physical planning. They'll sketch out the land that you're thinking about buying. And if your name is not on that sketch plan, you're buying some land that's already sold. And we've got a lot of friends that are from the UK, and they've been swindled. They purchased land that wasn't available. Their names was not on a sketch plan. So every time we buy land, there's a little box or a sketch plan, and you can see our name inserted inside the box. And then you get a series of stamps from the Akalo, which is the village chief, and
so many different
stamps, and then you get like maybe 7 copies that says you're the rightful owner.
You got to make sure. Let's say if it's a family of 7 who owns the land, all 7 of those names are there. Because if it's not, let's say one is not there,
right,
and you bought the land, that 7 can come in later and say, I didn't agree.
And it's a dispute.
So you got to make sure that it's there.
Or you're dealing with the head of the family, because sometimes, we as Africans, we kind of like to move around, and everybody's not always on the continent. So you're speaking with the head of the family who can make that decision.
Right.
And so the village chief will give you his stamp, and the Akalo will give you his stamp, and physical planning give you their stamp, along with the sketch plan and the 7 copies, and the land is yours.
So it's important you get some lawyer to help you, just to ensure that you don't get scammed, right?
Right. Yeah. Yes.
And how do you know that it's a genuine lawyer? Is there a way that you can verify that the person who's posing as a lawyer is not a fraud?
Wow, that's a difficult there. But basically, if you go to the office, most scammers here don't have an office. They kind of operate out of their cars or the cell phones. So if you go to a person's office, you should be looking for some type of business license, or you can verify their credentials. If they're saying something that's not on a quite up and up, or the red flag goes up. And a lot of time, when we proceed past the red flag going up, we lost money. And so if anybody says anything out of the ordinary, you should investigate. In other words, when in doubt, check it out.
Okay. I want to give shout out to the people who've super chat. Kemi, thank you so much. MrPiratebrain, Salvador Day, Deepthoughts Awareness, Trend Fruit, and Mystik. Thank you so much for the super chats. I really appreciate. hit the like button. We have over 300 people watching. Hit that like button. Support the stream with a super chat. That is the $sign, just as you are about to type. And the next question is: so, what is the cost of land in the
The cost
Gambia?
of land. The cost of
Yeah.
land, it depends on where it depends on where you're staying. Like I said, we wanted to get as far away from certain people as possible. So when we moved to the rural area, it was very, very inexpensive compared to staying around those people that we didn't particularly care for.
So, approximately, how far are you from the capital city?
I said we're probably about like 30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah.
About 30, 40 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how much does land cost there?
The what now?
How much land costs there? It all depends on who you're dealing with. Everybody is different.
Yeah.
It pretty much depends on who you're really working with.
Right. And it's difficult to give a good price because there's an area over here that's called TDA, which is a tourist development area, and that is the most expensive land that you can purchase.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if some people, I mean, they want to stay off the African Ocean, I mean, that's cool. That's called TDA, about 800 meters. Mm-hmm. They'll pay a large amount of money for that area. But us, we wanted to stay in the rural area where we were able to buy a large amount of hectares for a small amount.
You could probably some land you probably could purchase from what, 10, 20,000 to maybe what, 40,000.
Right.
Again, it all depends on who you're buying it from.
Right. Close to the
if
river.
Sometimes you can go through the real estate agent.
Wow, that's more.
And that's more.
That's the middleman.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You can go to someone that knows someone. It can be a lot cheaper.
Right. If it's legitimate.
Yes, and it all depends on who you're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
We can't really give you a price because somebody's price may not be that. So again, it's who you know.
Right. Now, there is no equivalent of yellow pages in the Gambia. But if you stay tuned on our channels, you'll be seeing black pages of the Gambia.
Awesome. So the land that you purchase, keeping in mind that you don't have the Gambian citizenship, are you able to purchase land on freehold or is it on lease?
Well, we don't have our citizenship, but we're hoping that the government recognizes that we're bringing a lot of jobs to the Gambia, and it's beneficial to have someone that desires to invest a substantial amount of their money into the Gambia to create jobs. And if for some reason we don't get citizenship, then we hope it's easier to get in Kenya.
And I don't think you really need the citizenship to get freehold or leasing, do you?
So the land you own, is it on freehold or is it on lease?
Well, it's freehold.
Mm-hmm.
We purchased it outright, but we are going to put it on land lease to protect us. They say that is
the best way.
If the government wants to come in and run a road through there, then they have to compensate us. So we will put it under the lease.
And you don't really need citizenship.
No, you don't have to.
You don't need the citizenship.
No, you don't have to
do that. You can just go and take care of it yourself
and purchase your land. And but see, I don't know why some people are under the assumption that you have to have citizenship to purchase land. No, you don't. You just come in, find some suitable land, purchase it, develop your compound, and do what you do, and make sure that you're a benefit to society rather than detract from it. And citizenship will come. And I say, as a rule of thumb now, if you don't have your citizenship within 5 to 10 years, you're in the wrong country. And so we're working on our 4th year, and
we will have it soon.
Yeah, we think we'll have it soon.
Okay, and the lease, once you transfer it to lease, how long is the lease?
The lease is supposed to be like 99 years.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to redo it.
Yeah.
And do you pay taxes for the land?
Yes, there's called capital gains tax that you go in and you pay on an annual basis, capital gains.
Mm-hmm. So you pay, you have to renew. Do the citizens pay that, or do you pay that because you don't have the citizenship, or does just everybody in the Gambia pay that?
Now, when we purchased the land, the owner or the sellers paid it. But since we are outright owners right now, we pay it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Right.
somebody said I'm a Black British doing business in the Gambia, helping my fellow brothers and sisters to purchase land in the Gambia. Now that's fine, but what we say is when you come over here, uh, be leery with your money. Don't outright send your money to anybody to make a purchase for you, because there are a lot of scam artists. Not saying that this person is a scam artist, but we're saying come and visit first, look at the land, make sure the land is available when you're purchasing the land. Don't just blindly send money to the Gambia. You'll lose it that way.
Okay, so now let's talk finances.
Okay.
How much money did you need before you made the move?
How
from
much money
America?
did we?
So far,
Okay.
we've known you needed about 10,000 for the 2 containers that you shipped, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That is
So what
correct.
other expenses?
Okay. Now you before you ship the containers, you pay basically half.
Yes, you didn't have to have it all.
You didn't have to have it all. And so when you get to the other end, before it gets into the port, you can pay the other half. And so once it gets into the port, you can pay those fees that we talked about earlier to get it out of the port. And so what we recommend is when you're shipping stuff here, send everything that you could possibly can, because you don't know what'll happen when you get here. And you can have a financial hardship. And once you get access to that container, if you need income, you can start selling off some of your assets, which is basically furniture or clothes or electronic appliances, things of that sort, that kind of help you to make it until you start generating some income. So basically, I would say if you can come to the Gambia with about 10 to 12,000, you're good. That should last until you feel acclimated and get a feel for, this is how I can generate some income. We put some videos out there on business opportunities. Please look at those. It tells you how to generate some income real quick.
Okay. Oh, that is basically what you said about 10 grand is when you're moving. What about the monthly? How much does one need to survive per month? So you can maybe give us a scenario for you as a family. How much do you need? And for someone who's coming alone, how much would they need to survive per month? So maybe you can put the expenses like the rent and maybe other expenses.
Okay. Well, the most important, or the most expensive thing here is the rent. And this was kind of strange compared to how it is in America. When you pay rent over here, it's normally 6 months or a year in advance. So before you move in there, you got to hand this big chunk of money over. And so we kind of put some videos out on how to stay over here rent free. And so you can kind of take that off the table right away if you look at those videos on how to stay in the Gambia rent free. The next thing is the food. And food is very inexpensive over here, especially right after rainy season. Now, after rainy season, kind of got the price spikes a little bit because stuff is being imported. But food is the next most expensive item. And then you have to pay as you go over here, like electricity. You have to pay on a monthly basis for that. Telephone service or internet, you have to pay for that on a monthly basis. So it depends on your lifestyle.
Also, if you have children in school too.
Oh yeah, school fees. And basically it depends on if you want to come over here and continue living the illusion lifestyle where I gotta have a car, I gotta have my washing machines, I gotta have my dishwasher, I gotta have my food compactor. I gotta have all this stuff that you don't really need. It's gonna make you run out of money real quick. And a lot of people that we see come over here, they want chauffeurs, they want maids. I mean, you can't afford that in America. Why would you come over here and want that? And so
we changed a lot when we got here.
Right.
There was a lot of things that we didn't, we gave up. We didn't have the washer and dryer. We started washing on our hands. Mm-hmm. We started taking the taxis,
walking places.
Mm-hmm. We gave up a lot. We gave up a lot of meat eating because, it was different from what, it just wasn't the same anymore. Right. I mean, we did a lot of, we knew we had the children in school. We had 2 still in high school at the time. There were fees that we had to pay, so we had the budget. Other than that, we kind of fell in trying to live just like everyone else.
Right.
We started to learn how to cook outside.
Cook outside without paying the gas.
And that's what we did. We made a mistake one time. We bought so much food, the electricity kept going out. And it was spoiling. Right. Some days it was out for 2 to 3 days when we first got here. So we started to learn and buy the food day by day or, every 2 to 3 days. So we started learning, pretty fast.
Right. Yeah, like she said, we're quick learners. And we saw that a lot of people, especially the women, were cultivating any available land and growing a garden.
And that's what we started.
That's what we saw. We saw them doing it, so we went out there and we started growing.
We didn't know what we were doing, but we did it.
We was growing tomatoes, carrots, okras. So that cut down on the grocery bill. I mean, when we first came, we was going to the market regularly. But then we started growing our own vegetables and stuff. We just started pulling back and started saving money. So honestly, I think you can get over here. In the Gambia, I think you can survive comfortably off of $1,000 or less.
Yes, you can.
Or less. Now, considering the average Gambian makes $40 to $50 a month, you coming in with $1,000 a month, you shouldn't have any problems.
Not at
unless
all.
you like getting your nails done and wearing the fancy attire that you have on.
You mentioned this shortage of food after the rainy season.
Well, when I was doing a study or the research prior to coming over here, they mentioned something that really concerned me, and it was titled the hunger season. I think it was called the hunger season. And basically, it's leading up to rainy season because this was a startling statistic that I came across. Most of Africa's agriculture is rain fed. So there's very limited irrigation systems here. And most of the African continent is harvesting fruits and vegetables from the rainy season. So during that period where there is no rainy season, if they're not fetching the water and pouring it on the plants, there's a shortage of food. And when you have to import it, the prices spike, like I said, and you have to pay more. So people aren't eating as much as they are right after rainy season because of the surplus of crops.
Did you bring a generator?
Yes, we did bring our generator from America, and we did do our laundry by hand. We did.
How was it? Something you've never done since you were. Have you ever done laundry with your hands before? By your hands?
Yes.
Yeah.
We grew up on them in the 70s. That's all we did we call it the wash tub.
The wash pan.
Yes. Before my grandmother bought a washer, we had to wash in a wash pan.
Yeah, and the kids.
So it wasn't really it wasn't any, new to me. It was something I already knew how to do.
Right.
I think the children was mad at it, but
they adjusted.
They did adjust.
They did adjust.
All right. Investment in the Gambia. Thank you so much for the super chat. Deborah, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate. The next question is, how are you making money in the Gambia? So how are you surviving in the Gambia? What business?
Well, when we first came to the Gambia, like I said, we were struggling a little bit, and we lost about 40, 50 pounds a piece.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so we started selling stuff out of our container. And just recently we got involved with YouTube and generating some awesome income from there. We haven't tried the super chat yet, but stay tuned. So we're
All right. So
that's where both of our incomes coming from.
Exactly.
Okay, you see, you're making billions on YouTube.
Yeah. In 9 months, it's unbelievable that people are paying me just to talk. And I
Ah,
love talking. So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
yeah.
So now that's when you started. Have you set up any businesses so far?
No, everything is dependent on coming out of Black Acres of the Gambia.
Right.
Because what we want to do, we can't do in this rental compound. You
Uh-huh.
understand? We sent a lot of business equipment over here, but we can't operate it out of this compound. So we need to get to the land so we can, like, for example, we got restaurant equipment. Can't operate a restaurant because we have to pay somebody else rent. So we don't want to do that. We'll open it up when we get the bag. We sent cleaning equipment up over here. We can't clean because of access to cleaning chemicals and finding clientele. So we're going to hold off on that. But the customers are there for the cleaning. We're having to turn customers away that want us to come in and clean for them, but we have to turn those guys away for now. So the opportunities are there, but we're just not set up to actually participate until we get out of the bag.
Okay, so can someone who is not a citizen set up a business? Like, okay, let me say I'm a designer, I'm a fashion designer, or I want to set up like just a small business, not like the investors who bring like lots of money. So I want to start up maybe my own small shop somewhere. Is it possible? On what would I need to do?
Right. Now, it's not that difficult to set up a business. And one that we were looking at was setting up the cleaning business. We were going to get some cleaning crews and train them, but we decided to delay that. And basically, you got a business license and a tax that you have to pay on the vehicle based on the axles. And the carpet cleaning van that we're driving now has 2 axles. One up front and one in the rear. And so you pay the tax for that there, and you apply for the business license, and you're in business up and running. And you have to pay insurance on the vehicles that you drive on the road. So it's fairly easy to open up a business here and not as much red tape as they lead you to believe when you're leaving America and coming here.
And you only pay once a year.
Once a year for insurance and the tax.
And can someone who is not a citizen yet seek employment in the Gambia?
And employment?
Yes.
Now, we don't know anything about the employment situation here, except for we say if you're coming here from the diaspora, we should be creating jobs, not looking for one.
All right. Someone is asking.
A permanent residency.
Pardon?
You have to be a permanent resident.
No, I don't know about the employment.
You have to have some kind of the address to give to get the license and everything. So yes, you do.
Well, I don't know, because I know when you're applying for your visa, they want to know, are you here for a work visa, or why are you here? So that's as much as we know about the employment situation now.
Okay, new thoughts. Thank you so much for the super chat, Bismarck Imara Nicheki Temba. Anyway, so you said someone cannot really, okay, like it's not easy seeking employment. You don't know much about it. Okay. So, and what type of skills and industries do you think are needed in the Gambia? What kind of business opportunities do people need in the Gambia? Maybe you can tell us some of the businesses that people can set up.
Pretty much, I think you could be super, super wealthy if you taught customer service.
Yes.
I mean, I'm talking about that's even faster than what we're pursuing agriculture now. We're going to intertwine that with what we do out in Bag. But if you are a consultant and can come over here and teach customer service, you'll be an instant million, perhaps billionaire, just like that, because that's what's lacking, customer service. You know, when you kind of go in, you kind of got this nonchalant attitude, like, you know, you wait until I finish with my phone call, talking to my boyfriend.
Or I'm having breakfast.
Or I'm having breakfast. So, you know, customer service. But all business opportunities are available here. And I caveat that with backing it up with customer service. Because once you offer superior customer service, there is no competition. And that's coming from the Arabs, the Indians, and the Europeans that are here. There is no competition when it comes to customer service, because when you go in these places, it's lacking. So everything is open, but I say at the top of all the list is customer service.
Okay, and tell us about the banking. Can someone open a bank account if they are not a citizen?
Yes, you can. Now,
what?
Yes, when we came here in 2015, we weren't citizens.
No.
But Sweet Juicy Mama opened us up a bank account in 2015.
We left.
And we still have that bank to the day.
Yes.
And so you want to explain some of the procedures?
But I heard that now that you have to be a citizen.
They changed it.
That's what I heard.
Hey!
I don't know, but they say you have to have an address, a permanent address where you're staying.
I didn't know this.
You probably can use someone. You know, they don't know if you're actually staying there.
I did not know this.
Okay. This is what I heard. I don't know if that's, basically true or not. But one person told me in order for her to get that bank account open, she had to give an address.
Okay. Now, somebody asked us, are we into canning? Yes, we do have some canning jars here. But being a family of 6, everything that we produce, we eat right there on the spot. You know what I'm saying? So right now, we're not into canning, although we did bring the supplies and material from America.
Pots and all.
Yeah, when we get the bag, we'll definitely do that. But right now, here in the compound, whatever the bananas, the plantains that produce, the okras and stuff, we consume that right on the spot.
All right. So let's just go back. I'm taking you back because this person has been asking this question for so long. The shipping company that you use to ship to the Gambia, does it ship to everywhere in Africa? And can they ship? There's someone who wants contact for a good shipping company.
It actually isn't a company per se. It was a person that someone introduced to us who works out of Atlanta. And that's how we got the guy. And he is a Gambian here, but he lives in Atlanta, and he do shipping for himself and maybe, a couple partners that with him. It's not a big company.
Right. And there's another guy, he's also a Gambian.
And he's in North Carolina. Yes. Now, where they ship, I don't know. I know it was mainly Gambia.
Right. And during the research, what I found is most shippers ship to different areas on the African continent. Now, you got some guys that are shipped to East Africa, some that are shipped to West Africa, North and South. So it's kind of like broke down who ships what and which carrier to use. So that's what research indicated.
All right. Kindly hit the like button. Keep asking. So when I'm looking, I'm just actually catching up with the stream because the questions are so many. They are coming so fast. So if I'm looking down, I'm just checking the questions on the phone and on the screen. So keep the questions coming, like this stream. Their channel, for those who are asking, their channel is Black Acres of the Gambia. So let me just share the link in the comment section. You can go to the comment section and you can click on that link and subscribe to their channel, then come back and continue the live stream. Well, you've mentioned about citizenship. Tell us a little more about citizenship. Does Gambia allow dual citizenship?
Now, again, we have not looked into acquiring citizenship. We feel that if you have not received your citizenship in a 5 to 10 year period, you're in the wrong country. And so we're working on our 4th year here in the Gambia. And next year, which will be our 5th year, we will seriously start pursuing getting our citizenship.
Now we do have people who wants to go in and apply with us right now.
Well, yes.
But we just wasn't ready yet.
Right. Well, some people are saying, hey, we are thankful that you decided to come to Gambia out of all the other countries on the continent, and we can help expedite you getting your citizenship. Now, we said, hey, we didn't want to do no hanky-panky, especially if we get caught.
Okay. Are educators and tutors needed?
Oh, sorry. I didn't catch that.
Are educators and tutors needed? Educators and tutors, are they needed?
The tutors?
Yeah, I think that's like teachers.
Well,
I think so. They are needed. I think so.
Yeah, definitely teaching. Now, we felt going through the system that we went through, if we had to do it all over again, we would have self-schooled them.
Yes.
Now, this is what we wanted to do in America, which was homeschool the children. But, when you're in prison and you don't have total freedom, you kind of have to pick and choose. Do I eat today and starve tomorrow? So you have to pick and choose. And so we kind of put them in the public school, and we regret that decision today.
With every
Why?
kids.
Huh?
They weren't learning.
Yeah, they weren't learning. When you're learning your oppressor's version of reality, you're going to stay asleep.
Right. Someone is asking, are you citizens? Okay, you've mentioned that, or you're working on your what is the process of acquiring citizenship? You just said if you can't get it within 5 years in the wrong country. So what is the process of acquiring citizenship in the Gambia?
No, I didn't catch that.
The process of acquiring citizenship.
The process of
acquiring citizenship.
When you first come into the Gambia, you have to have an entry visa. And once you get your entry visa, I think you have to renew that every 6 months.
No, the visa
every year, I think.
Every year, once a year, December 31st.
For how many times before you can apply for citizenship?
When we first got here, they said 3 times.
3 times?
Yes. It's so many different stories, so I don't know. They said they changed it. I don't know.
Keep changing the rules.
Right.
And even now, there's new pending legislation about the citizenship question, because there's some people under the ideology of automatic citizenship. When we get here, we should automatically become citizens. And now we don't follow that train of thought. We feel that when you come to a country, you should first acclimate yourself to the country and customs, and then start providing a benefit. You shouldn't just come right in and say, hey, I'm here, where's my citizenship? We're under the ideology, if stuff is given freely, it is abused. So we feel you should earn your citizenship.
And not only that, the country is, under the oppressor, and so much is going on. They just can't just do it just like that.
Right. That's a source of income.
Right.
Those fees, and I don't have a problem with it.
So at the moment, how long is it taking before someone gets citizenship?
Now, we haven't talked to anyone in our circle who has been granted citizenship.
Right.
Now, if there are, thank you. This person said what I'm saying is right. All right, man, Black Power. So anyway, now we do know a brother that's been here for 30 years. Now, we don't know if he has his citizenship. It never came up in a conversation, but like I say, if you don't have your citizenship within 5 to 10 years, you're in the wrong country. And so now if we don't have our citizenship within that period, then we'll be looking at trying to jump into the next country, perhaps even Kenya, if you give us an invite.
Yes, you will. You will. You will. You will. You'll get it for a shorter period of time. It won't take. It won't be.
Yes, I have no problem. I think we will get it very soon.
I think so too.
You're so much welcome. So you're very much welcome in Kenya. Kindly hit the like button as you are coming in. If you have questions, go ahead and ask. So I'm trying to just catch up. So what kind of visa? How many type of visas? Are you on a tourist visa, or are you on a resident visa, or what type of visas do you have?
I think we have a residential visa.
Yeah, because we are permanent residents.
Right.
We have our residence card,
right,
and the alien cards too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, our official entry title in coming here was retired. Mm-hmm. That was our status, retired. We weren't coming here to look for a job,
right,
and things of that sort. So we are officially retired. And so once we develop Black Acres of the Gambia to the extent where we can hire about 1,000 or so people, we'll come out of retirement status.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so basically, it's more like, oh, you're not coming to look for job or compete for jobs or something like that.
Right.
Yes, we are. Yes, we're retired.
Okay.
That was our entry status.
What about? Oh, you didn't come with your older daughters and your older children? I wanted to know if they also come under the same status, or they just come under your wing. So like you have to clarify, oh, this one is not retired, this one is job seeking or something.
Well, we got the 4 youngest ones with us, and the 3 oldest are still in America. But one more is going to join us shortly. Mm-hmm. And so that'll leave 2 left.
With the grandkids.
Yeah, I forgot about the grandkids. You know, they just keep popping out. So we try to get them over here too, to enjoy the benefits and enjoy their inheritance of Black Acres of the Gambia, because not only are we building it for our future, we're building it for our descendants and the descendants of people that get involved with us and work with us.
So do they also have the same type of visa? Yeah, the children that are with you, do they also have the same type of visa, or what type of visa do they get?
Now, when they came, they were of a young age that they fell up under our visa. So
now they're 18 and above. They all have, regular visas.
Yeah, they switched over.
They also have permanent residence cards too.
Right. So when we came into the country, some of the children fell up under mine as a dependent status, and some fell up under Sweet Juicy Mama as dependent status. So as they all reached over 18, they got their own permanent status.
Their own permanent residency card now.
Excuse me.
How much do you pay to renew each per year?
How much are you? Because she handles that.
I think it's $3,005 each year.
That's about $70, $80
mm-hmm.
US. That's about $70 or $80 US per year.
And that's each kid.
Right.
Or everybody. It's all the same across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you said 70 to 80?
Yeah, somewhere around there, about 73. And the Lassie is $3,005.
Oh.
$3,005.
And the Lassie, but you translated or transferred into US dollars.
It's about maybe 70 to 80.
$70, $80. Yeah.
Wow, that's quite fair. To be honest, that's quite fair compared to to Kenya.
It's more expensive in Kenya?
Yes.
Wow.
How often do you go back to America?
Last time we went back was 2018. That was the last and the first time since we arrived here. We had been here for 2 years, so in 2018 we went back to visit.
Right.
Actually, to get the rest of our things and other things, that see family members, married, weddings, and all that. After that, we hadn't been to America since.
Right. And personally, we have no plans to go back in the immediate future. And let me define the immediate future. That's within the next 10 years or so.
Yes. After what's going on now with COVID, I don't think I want to go back. I think I'm really scared now.
Yeah, you're concerned about going there and not being able to get out. If you remember the prison analogy, once you get out of prison and get from behind the bars, you don't want to go back in there and volunteer your services and say, hey, I'm back. Hey, prison labor here. Hey, misuse and abuse me. Do all Gambians speak English? No, but the official language of the country is English. And that's to my dismay. It's a African country, and we should be speaking African language. And if you can't learn the language, then hey, that's on you.
All right. Okay, I have lots of questions. How is the healthcare system in the Gambia?
The healthcare.
I would say the healthcare system here is adequate. If you have some issues or concerns, there are several clinics where you can go around and get state-of-the-art
very inexpensive
health equipment, and it's very inexpensive. And it's sort of two-tiered. The Gambians, because of the low income brackets, pay less than the foreigners who are coming in with retirement or certain type of incomes established. So you pay a little bit more being a foreigner. But Gambians pay less. And if it's let's say a complicated medical condition, they would transport you to Senegal, which is a little bit more developed, since they're heavily dominated by the French.
And if you just want a basic, checkup or what have you,
right,
you probably won't spend no more than $20 American for
right,
that visit. And probably whatever, medicine you need, you probably won't spend no more than another $20.
Right. And medication, for example, if you like on some type of high blood pressure medicine, in America, those bottles can hit you for about like $100. And over here, they can hit you for about like what, $10, $15, something like that.
Yeah.
The same medication.
Yes, same medication. So it's pretty much
right.
Very inexpensive.
So what's the healthcare scene like for women? So pretty much, I think you've kind of covered it on that.
Right.
Is it any different, no?
Yeah, a lot of maternity clinics around, because we're the only ones on the planet who are sustaining our population and stuff. So it's heavily filled with maternal clinics throughout the Gambia.
Okay.
What is the next? Somebody's asking, what is the next African country they plan on visiting? Kenya, Rwanda, Ghana?
We want to go to Ghana just to see how it is.
Well, I don't want to go to Ghana.
Not quite yet.
Oh,
not
yeah.
now.
Well, personally, I would like to go to Guinea-Conakry. There are a series of countries that touch Gambia. And so the first one that touches Gambia is Senegal. So as we kind of trickle through West Africa, we're trying to hit all those countries on the West Coast before we start going East Coast. So those countries right there are not in the immediate future because Guinea-Conakry is closer to the Gambia, and we want to touch all these countries because this is where we would like to duplicate the bad concept into these countries. So if we don't get citizenship, we're already established in neighboring countries.
Okay. Kindly hit the like button. Brian Gibson, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate. We have over 380 people watching. Hit that like button, support the stream. We've had over 1,000 people so far. Let's get the likes up. And keep your questions coming. I'm trying to just, there are questions here. I'm just trying to check all the questions and ensure everything is actually answered. Question: how is the government's response to the influx of diasporans in the Gambia?
Some of us are very noisy in the diaspora, with our demands of automatic citizenship. Some of us are in the camp of, in a 5 to 10 year period, we should receive our citizenship. If we don't receive citizenship within a 5 to 10 year period, we're definitely in the wrong country. So that is our mindset of our camp.
Mhm.
If you're entitled to it, or your acts have demonstrated that you're beneficial to the country, you'll get it.
Mhm.
And the government will act in a likewise fashion by granting it to you. Now, if you're making demands and getting in all kind of trouble and things of that sort, nobody wants to be bullied or bluffed. So, you know, we don't talk to the government. Uh, we don't feel that that's the junction or the avenue that we want to pursue. We only contact the government on a need-to basis. Apart from that, we out here trying to develop. We're out of the bag developing jobs.
Doing our work.
Do they drive on the right or left side of the road? In the Gambia, it drives on the right side of the road, just like the U.S.
But there are cars here that do drive on the other side. I mean, have the steering wheel on the other side.
Yeah, that's right. Amazing that this was a British colony, and they don't drive on the east side like the British. So that's a plus. Yeah, you answered that already. All right, thank you for thank you.
Where do you in Guinea-Bissau? I don't know.
All right. Hey, well, thank you for congratulations on us reaching 20,000 subscribers. And now, guys, I'm never one lost for goals. The goal now is 50,000.
And it's coming soon.
What?
It's gonna come very soon. Very soon, you'll be
Right.
having it.
Yeah, so that's the next goal. We want to hit 50,000 subscribers. We want to go past 40,000 so fast, it's a blur. But I'll let you answer this next question.
What it says? How is
the intra-African traveler?
Can you drive to Senegal or Guinea-Bissau? Yes, you can. We did.
Yes, we did. Now, guys, let me.
I don't know about Kenya or South Africa.
Yeah, but you can't take a train.
I don't think you can take a train.
But let me throw something out here as far as caution. When you're driving, and I'm kind of leery about this, when you're driving from Gambia to neighboring countries, guys, you kind of got some issues at the checkpoints where, you're perceived as an American or Kenyan with a lot of money. So, everybody's kind of got their hand out, and checkpoint after checkpoint after checkpoint after checkpoint.
They want that.
They want some income. So there is a little corruption. I shouldn't say a little. There's a lot of corruption at those checkpoints when you're driving from country to country. Now I know it is in Senegal. I know it definitely is in Guinea-Bissau, and I'm told it is the same in Guinea-Conakry. But still, we want to go there. Perhaps we might fly in instead of driving.
Yes.
Are there any issues of the price of land going up because of the returnees offering higher prices? And how is that received by the locals? Can you foresee friction, and how will you handle it?
Well, I personally don't feel that the diaspora coming in and driving the prices up. Maybe that might apply to maybe that might apply to Ghana, but that is definitely not the case in the Gambia, because there's Chinese here, the British have been here for centuries. They haven't raised up the price.
No.
So why all of a sudden us coming in driving up the price? I think that's another tactic of divide and conquers, trying to pit us against each other, saying we're coming in and driving up the prices. That is not the case.
I don't think so.
Because the Europeans have been here for centuries. In fact, where we are at the bag, there's a German lady and a Belgian man right down the road from us. They didn't drive up the price. But when we come in, all of a sudden, we driving up the price. Is there a state-sponsored religion in the Gambia? Now, Gambia is a predominantly Muslim country, maybe 95% Muslim and 5% Christian. Now, we don't subscribe to either of those indoctrinations. We feel that we found out the truth, and we are much more inclined to pursue African spirituality because that was us when we were at our strongest.
Before we was interrupted.
Before we were interrupted, and when they came in and gave us the Bible and the Quran, we haven't figured it out since.
Okay, where did you get the seeds that you planted on your land?
Well, when we came here 4 years ago, we were on the market, and anything we ate, we threw it in the ground. So we got trees that have been growing for 4 years, and some of them have bore fruit that we were able to eat off. So the fruits that we got from the fruits and vegetables that we got from the Gambia, we planted those, and they are bearing fruit now.
Tomatoes,
Tomatoes,
peppers,
and
whatever.
we kept the seeds. We kept
dry them out, and we just plant.
That's right.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, finish up because it's a different question.
No, we're not in favor of GMO, genetically modified organism. We believe in organic. We want it to be as nature intended, not as man intended, because there's a lot of defects and harmful side effects of man-created GMO products. So we are much more in favor of organic livestock and organic food supply, fruits and vegetables and herbs.
Okay, since Gambia is mostly a Muslim country, do they have expectations of people to dress in a certain way, even if you don't subscribe to the religion? Maybe in some parts of the country?
Right. Now, one thing that shocked us about coming to the Gambia is that it is a predominantly Muslim country. But if you look at some of the fashion worn by the women, man, you would think it's Playboy.
Yes. So no rules, no kind of rules here.
She said that I didn't. I believe that there are rules here, but Gambia is an extremely, and I emphasize extremely, liberal country. As long as you don't bother anybody, nobody will bother you other than the bumps that's trying to, bump some money off of you.
When I say rules, I'm saying there's no certain way that you have to dress. You can choose to wear whatever you like.
Right, as long as you don't interfere with anybody, nobody will bother you. You might get some awkward looks, but it's a liberal country and nobody will bother you. Now, somebody said, what are the Chinese up to in the Gambia? They're up to the same thing that they are on the rest of the continent. They're doing what the Chinese need to do to survive. And it's time that we as Africans do the same thing. Do what we need to do in order to survive and prosper.
When are you going to visit Zimbabwe, since you mentioned that it was one of your options?
Well, as we work our way down the West Coast, once we hit that last West African country, I'm not sure, I can't remember the name. I'm not sure if it's Benin or wherever. That's when we'll cut across and start headed toward East Africa. South and North Africa would be last on the list. North would be last on the list. South Africa would be third after East Africa.
Okay, is there any assistance for newcomers?
Once we set up Black Acres of the Gambia, there will be a place where you can come and stay for temporary lodging. If you need employment, there'll be employment, temporary employment, until you decide if you want to stay in Gambia or go to Kenya or wherever on the continent. So there will be a temporary place set up at Bag where you can either rent a single family home or an apartment or stay in the Econo Lodge or hotel. So we are building facilities for people that are coming to the African continent and Gambia in specific. You want to get that next question, sweet mama?
How wide do you think the gap between Africans coming back from America versus those in Africa? I don't know.
Okay.
Struggle to recover from.
Right. I personally don't believe that there is a gap between Africans coming from America or wherever. I think the only gap that exists is what we create in our mind,
Yes.
or let our oppressors implant into our mind. So we need to change the narrative and say, hey, we're one people, one love. Let's go ahead and unite, and let's become a global superpower like we were meant to be once again.
Okay, someone is saying you speak on car insurance comparison.
Okay, now some of your audio is coming in broke up, so would you please repeat that?
Oh, speak on car insurance comparison.
Okay,
Car
she said talk about.
Let me
Talk
put
about
it.
the car.
Yeah.
Car insurance?
Yes.
Well, you only pay that once a year.
And it is a very, very low rate.
And it's across the board. Everybody pays
the same.
No different. Once a year, and I think it's about 1,500 Delassie, somewhere around there. Everybody pays the same.
And if you got a trailer, it's included with the car insurance. Versus in America, for example.
Well, it may be a little bit more though.
The trailer?
Yeah, that's it. Not as much, but it is there, and it has to have their own license plate.
It's the same as on the car.
Yes, it's not that much.
But compare that to America, we saved a ton of money on our life insurance when we came to the Gambia. In fact, I mean, man, we could buy an outfit just like what you got on African Tigers. That's how much money we saved on our car insurance.
Yes, because in America, I think you pay every 6 months, sometimes every 3 months.
Yep. And if
it's a lot.
And if you have an accident, they're going to increase your rate or cancel the policy.
Yes.
And if you don't have insurance policy on your car, you can't drive. And if you can't drive, you can't go to work. And if you can't go to work, then you starve. And if you starve, then you homeless. And if you're homeless, you die. Get the picture?
Okay, so is it true about $30 per year on car insurance?
Yeah.
Wow. 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 Wow.
And if you have an accident, they won't increase the rate because you know why? Nobody's going to report it.
Wow. Wow. Actually, let's get the likes up. We have over 400 people watching. Support the stream. Hit the super chat. That's the dollar sign as you are about to comment. If you have questions for us, let's go ahead and ask. I'm so impressed. I can't believe paying car insurance $30 per year. That's like, wow. What kind of car? Is it? I think they said all types of cars.
You can try.
No. Huh?
No, just sit there.
Oh, okay.
We'll wait.
We're on the iPad, and she just looked at it as 20%, so I was going to plug it up.
Yeah, you can plug it. Plug it. Yes, just plug it so that. Yeah, just plug it. Wait, so it's just $30? Someone is asking what kind of car, or is it any type of car? The $30.
It's any kind of car that I know of. It's any kind of car.
Wow,
and we had like the 15-passenger van. It was the same price.
Yeah, we brought up a 15-passenger van because we have a large family, and so we brought up a 15-passenger van, and it was really reasonable compared to what we were paying in America. Yeah, in fact, it got so ridiculous in America, we stopped paying insurance. I think the Statue of Liberty doesn't apply now, so we stopped paying car insurance. It was just that much. I mean, we're like, hey, got to cut corners. I mean, it's ridiculous.
What about health insurance?
Yes, health insurance. What about health insurance?
Like cost of health insurance.
Here, I don't think they have that here. It's more of, like
pay as you go.
Pay as you go.
If you got a headache and you need some aspirin, you go in there and pay for that. If you got a backache, you pay for that and go in there.
And again, like I say, it's only roughly what, $20 US
Mhm.
dollars to see a doctor.
Right. So you
Wow,
pay as you go.
so I can start an health insurance company there.
Not yet. Not yet. As the country starts to develop, those insurance scammers are coming here and start insuring people at those high toxic prices.
Okay, okay. What contribution should Africa diaspora who are moving make to the communities they are moving to?
We should come in here with, we are Africans.
Yes.
Just because we're from different places around the globe, we should realize that we're Africans.
Mhm.
And when we come here, we should not have this superior attitude that we're advanced and they're inferior, or why isn't this place like where we come from, or things of that sort. When you come here, you should look at, how can I
Help.
benefit? How can I help this country? In so helping myself. Now in America, we're dying trying to help that country. But when we come here, we're asking, what can this country do for us?
Mm-hmm.
Now that's a different kind of mindset. We should come here with the same thing, except for we're not going to die here trying to help build up Africa like we're dying in America.
Mm-hmm. Someone is saying, I would like to relocate to Gambia. However, how can I be reassured of transfer of land ownership without a struggle title infrastructure? Let me just put the question on the screen so you can see it.
Right. See, this is when you get a lawyer involved.
Right.
And if you remember what I just said about when you get those documents, make sure that there's a sketch plan. You have the Carlos stamp, because the Carlos are in charge of the village, and they said, I verified that this land is for sale. Now, some are corrupt, but physical planning would say, hey, here's the sketch plan, and your name is inserted in there. And it's up to the Akalo and the village chief to stamp those documents verifying that those properties are in fact available and owned by you once you purchase those. So that is your reassurance.
Okay. Another question is, once you get your American citizenship, sorry, your Gambian citizenship, are you
Hey,
are you, will you denounce your American citizenship?
Would you denounce it?
Say that again.
Once you get your Gambian citizenship, would you denounce your American citizenship?
I don't think I would.
Now, she does not think she would, and me, to be determined.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Uh, any regrets? Any regrets so far? Do you have any regrets?
Yes, that I didn't get out sooner.
Oh, okay. I think I'm about to finish.
That's it. That we didn't get here sooner.
Yeah.
No one really told us what was going on.
That is the only regret. And when people come here and realize the potential and the calm and peacefulness, you'll beat yourself up. Why didn't I get out sooner?
Right.
So that's what they got to come to terms with, wherever they're coming from.
Okay. Questions from Melanated One. How long did they prepare before they left? And second, what four things would they recommend doing before moving?
The four things that we would recommend that you do before leaving is get your finances in order.
Mm-hmm.
You know, make sure you save as much money as possible. Now, I mean, if you want to stop paying your electricity bill, make sure that coincides with when you're leaving. If you want to stop paying your car insurance, make sure that coincides with when you're leaving. Do you get the drift?
Yep.
Okay. You want to accumulate as much money as possible. So if you have to stop paying certain bills in order to make that smooth transition,
stop it.
Do what you got to do.
Yes.
Do what you got to do.
Another question. So just to know, just before you answer that, kindly hit the like button. We have about 10 more minutes to go. We have over 414 people watching. Support the stream, hit the super chat, share out. We're learning a lot of information. We're learning from their, from their experience. Lots of questions coming through. If you have questions, go ahead and ask. Is there anyone we can connect? Who can connect? The question on the screen.
Well, is there anybody that now? It depends on where you're going. Now, if you're coming to the Gambia, we would say reach out and talk to us. Now, there are a lot of people that try to talk to us and ask certain questions. Now, as our channel is exploding, we're not having a chance to talk to those people on an individual basis. What we would say is look at those first series of videos that we put out, and they should answer most of your questions. If they don't, then you can start trying to reach out to us through either Facebook or through YouTube or Messenger or email. But don't send your money over here without you coming. You keep your money with you. And there are a lot of people, Senegal, Gambia, that say send us money, we'll help you buy land and all that good stuff. You send that money, you will not see that money again.
I say come for a visit.
Come for a visit, link up with people, and look for people behind the YouTube personality.
Yes.
Because some people portray this, oh, I'm all for you on YouTube, and then when you get over here, you're blindsided.
Yes.
But, only thing I can say is come for a visit, and you'll find out who's real, and you'll find out who's fraudulent.
And like for us, we can help as much as we can.
Help as much as we can.
Point you in the right direction.
Right.
Whatever you need, we're here.
So this is paramount to why we need to get bags set up, because we can help you bypass all that garbage that's out there and fraudulent activity. You can come there and have temporary housing for as long as you like until you can figure out what's going on and where you want to go. You might come to Gambia and say, hey, well, Gambia is too small. They don't have an African tigress. I might want to go to Kenya, but at least you're on the African continent. You know what I'm saying? So
as long as you're home, right?
Yes.
Yeah, as long as you're home. Someone is asking, where do you go for entertainment? Middle-aged couple asking.
Okay, for entertainment, I go to Sweet Juicy Mama. And I guess for the families, I guess for entertainment, they wait for daddy to try to be funny.
No, we go to the beach, or we can go, just walk around Gambia.
Yeah, that's right. Now, somebody said, what about university plans for your younger kids? Are you sending them to college in the country, or will you send them outside for higher ranking study? Now, listen, guys, we get that wrong over and over and over and over.
We left America.
If your parents are as rich as African tigress and they can employ you, why do you need a college degree? Do you go to school just to come back and apply for a job for your parents? Your parents, if they're doing it right, they're training you at a young age to inherit the business. So why do we need a college degree? We need a college degree if we're going to work for somebody else. We got to get out of that mindset of working for the enemy. We need to work for ourselves, create jobs and opportunities for ourselves. Then we'll stop having these problems and trying to figure out what we're doing wrong here on the African continent while we're not developing. Create our own jobs. Go ahead, sweetheart. You got this one.
How can we help each other?
Coming back, also, what are some examples of how the diaspora can help the locals?
Again, when we come back, we should be of the mindset we're here to create jobs and not take away jobs. You know, if you're a secretary in America, you can come here and open up a secretarial school. If you are, for example, when we were in America, we were cleaners. We clean carpets. That's right. We clean carpets and we clean commercial grills, kitchen exhausts, with all that grease is in there and stuff. You could come here and teach that. If you're a truck driver, you can come here and teach driving skills. If you're a doctor, you don't even need to talk about that. That's self-explanatory. So if you are doing anything in America to make our oppressors richer, you come to Gambia, you come to the African continent, you make yourself rich in the process. So that's how we can help the locals by come here, sharing our knowledge and creating jobs.
Okay, someone says, I have money, but I don't know where to go to get started. And then I'm trying to decide how I move my money to Africa.
Well, if you don't know where you want to go, then any place is fine. You need to figure out, hey, I speak French. Maybe I might want to go to a French-speaking country. I speak English. Maybe I might want to go to a English-speaking country. Or I'm Muslim. I might want to go to a Muslim country. Or I'm Christian. I might want to go to a Christian country. You have to figure out, hey, this is what I'm looking for when I escape from prison.
Just do the research.
Yeah, once you identify, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Low cost of living, affordable housing, healthcare, what's transportation like? What are the business opportunities in the country? Once you write down the criteria that you're looking for when you escape prison, it'll help you to determine which of the 52 countries on the continent which is best suitable for you. Now, again, what I did for us was 6 months of research, reaching out to YouTubers, watching as many YouTube videos as I could. I came up with 3 countries: Gambia, Tanzania, and Zimbabwe. I eliminated Zimbabwe because the Honorable the Honorable the brother that just passed, Maccabee. No, not Maccabee.
The president of
Can't remember. Robert Mugabe. Yeah.
Mugabe.
He was up in age. Yeah, Robert Mugabe. He was up in age, so I said I can't go there. And I liked the Tanzania president, Magufuli. I liked what he was saying. But Yahya Jammeh of Gambia was talking Pan-African. And so that hit home with me because he was saying, grow your own food and eat what you grow. And that hit home with me. And so we went to Gambia and we didn't even look at the rest of them. We said, hey, we'll catch them down the road. But that's how we picked the Gambia. Now, somebody said, would you ever move to the USA? Now,
we just left the USA.
When I was in the USA, I likened that to prison. So I would ask you, if you are a common sense person, would I want to go back to prison?
Okay, good question.
Yeah, thank you guys for the information. Looking to be on the continent, August to October, was very hesitant about some things. This has helped me with some anxiety I was holding. All right, guys, you should have more anxiety being in America. Any anxiety you have in Africa.
You gotta understand, it will get worse.
Okay. Another question. As a first-time visitor to the Gambia, what neighborhood area in the Gambia should one visit that is not a tourist trap?
Well, tourism is a large part of the income for Gambia. So you're going to fall into the trap one way or another because you're a foreigner and they sense that since you're a foreigner, you got all this money, you up there in the income bracket like, African tigers. You got to let them know, hey, I don't make as much as her. Bring the price down. You'll be okay.
He's staying on you tonight, right?
I wish. Did you meet other African Americans in the Gambia?
Yes, we
Yes.
have. Yes, there are a bunch of us, but we're spread out. And so what we're trying to do is when we get set up at what we're going to do when we get set up at Black Acres of the Gambia, we'll have meetings where we can bring in different people from the diaspora as well as the Gambians, the locals, and interconnect and say, hey, how do we best take the country forward? How do we best create more jobs? How do we best become more unified? Let's get together. Let's brainstorm. Let's come up with a consensus on how we could develop the country as a whole. That is one of our goals in setting up Black Acres of the Gambia, bringing all the people together of melanin now. The enemy ain't invited unless they send somebody in there to infiltrate, but we're looking for people with beautiful melanin skin.
All right, all right. Candy, let's get the likes up. We are actually almost done with the stream. We have over 400 people watching, 416 people watching. Hit that like button, support the stream. I don't think if I've missed your question, I've probably not seen it because the questions are so many questions are coming. So I would just ask the ones that for the people who had asked earlier, the ones who had sent on the community. Would you say moving to the Gambia was worth it?
Was what?
Was moving to the Gambia worth it?
Coronavirus, what's that?
There's
Somebody said, how are you guys coping with the coronavirus? What's that?
Created coronavirus.
All right.
Yeah, we haven't seen it. I mean,
we haven't seen it. So.
To me, it's a cold, and the hoopla is again coming from the oppressor. What they're not telling you that the people that are dying from the coronavirus have other medical issues, but they just highlight one and say the person died from that. So that's our take on that. We did a video. It was flagged, but we're not into the hype.
Okay. Was moving to the Gambia worth it? Looking down, was it worth it? Sorry, that's
to the Gambia?
Yeah, was moving to the Gambia worth it?
Yes, it was very much worth it.
Yes, I didn't like prison.
Okay. How big is your land?
A move would be there, locked down right now.
Right.
Okay. So I
let me say one more thing. Can I say one more thing? Now,
yes.
When we left America, we were there for about like maybe 52 years, 54, something like that. We've accomplished more in 4 years over here in the Gambia than we did the 52, 54 years in America. So that should speak for itself. It was worth it. Moving to the Gambia, getting out of prison.
All right. Okay. Kindly support. Check out their channel. I'm just sharing the link to their YouTube channel in the comment. Hit that the link that I just shared. That's the link to their YouTube channel. Go there, subscribe, enjoy more videos and information from the Gambia. How much money to clear your car from abroad? Is there a special fee for the car? You mentioned about the container, but is there a special fee if you just only shipping the car?
If you want to ship a car, they've got two ways. You can shove it into a 40-foot container or possibly two, or you can utilize this other thing that's called a roll. Roll on, roll off. That means you'll drive it onto a ship
and
it'll sit there and it'll go to the point of the destination and you drive it off. So roll on, roll off. Two ways to ship a vehicle.
I think that's more expensive.
It's more expensive.
But when you put it in the container, you can put more than one vehicle.
Clothes and stuff.
Sometimes you can put up to 4 vehicles in one container.
So it's more economical to ship it inside of a container.
Yeah.
Just make sure they don't damage it, loading it and offloading it.
Okay. I think I've asked all the questions that I got. Maybe if we have some questions, I hope you'll be able to join. I know I've kept here for 2 hours, So I hope next time I invite you, you don't refuse to come on.
No problem, no problem. And we'd
Okay,
like to invite you
okay.
to our channel too in the upcoming future.
Oh, very interested. So just let me know when we plan on that.
Okay. All right, we'll do.
So what is, in the last two questions, what is important for, why is it important for African diaspora to move to Africa? Why is it important for Africa diaspora to move to Africa?
Because now everybody doesn't have my mentality of being in prison. Some actually think they're free in America.
Mm-hmm.
The importance of coming to the African continent is you get the chance to escape prison. You get the chance to escape oppression. You get the chance to escape police brutality. You get the chance to escape medical genocide where they're experimenting on your body. You get the chance to
Think.
You get the chance to relax, and you get a chance to enjoy the sun, and you get a chance to enjoy the beautiful, melanated people who are extremely peaceful.
Yes.
No, there is no limit to the vehicle being shipped.
Okay, so the last question that I'm going to ask you, I see some people asking questions that you've answered on earlier in the stream. So you, in case you just joined us late, you can go back and rewatch this video. Support their channel. Go subscribe to their channel. Also support my channel on PayPal and Patreon. I just dropped the link to my PayPal and Patreon, and I'm just dropping a link to Black Acres of the Gambia on the comment section. So click on that link as well. Go and watch more videos. So lastly, any advice for Africa diaspora who wants to make the move? Any advice?
Yes. Subscribe to African Tiger's YouTube channel.
See, je suis DC Mama. I don't know. The name is long. I keep saying Siri DC Mama.
SJM.
SJM, her initials, yeah. Wow.
Okay. I really appreciate your time, your contribution. Let me just remove that's the name of their channel. As you can see, Black Acres of the Gambia. Go ahead, support their channel, subscribe. They're really amazing, funny. You'll never get bored watching their videos. So go ahead, subscribe. And I appreciate everybody who's been on the platform. I'm getting late into the conversation. I have building experience in the process of building in America. I'm 65 now, turned over. My son, can I still be useful? A builder still useful? Yes, personally, I would tell you yes. Building experience. Someone is asking about this, but I believe it's building experience. It's still yes. You are useful as a builder.
Yes.
If you're 101, you're very useful here.
Now let me explain something to you. Now it doesn't matter if you're 65 or 95. When you come up here to the African continent, you're starting a new life.
Yes,
stress-free, improved health, sun, a majority of the year, non-GMO foods, peaceful. There are so many benefits to coming to the African continent, guys. You'll regret that you didn't come sooner. So it doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your age. Everybody should come to the African continent. Now, not everybody should stay. Not everybody should stay. Some people are going to come over here with a nasty, rotten attitude. They need to just come and visit. If they ever come and visit, more than likely they'll just go as far as Europe, Paris, France, or London, England. They won't step foot on the continent. That's fine. That's a blessing in disguise. But everybody should at least come and visit. Only a few should stay. Only a few should stay.
Okay, okay. So I really appreciate. Thank you so much, Black Echoes of the Gambia. Thanks for
Thank
the
you.
love. Thanks for showing up. I know we've been planning for this for a while, so I'm so glad to be hosting you today. So looking forward to host you.
Thank you for
Okay.
having us.
Thank you, and we hope you didn't make. We hope you didn't lose any subscribers. Sometimes we can kind of be out there, you know.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Look, the
Okay.
true ones will always stay. The true ones will always stay. The ones who truly support, the ones who believe in the course, will always stay. So I'm
I
always
agree.
like,
Yeah.
okay, you lose some, you'll gain some. So that's it. You basically,
That's it.
That's life. That's life.
yeah.
Just
Keep
keep it
going.
moving. Keep
Keep
it
growing.
moving.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye
Now.
bye.
All right. And grow that
Bye
channel.
bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. So thanks to everybody who's been part of this stream today. I appreciate your time, your contribution. I hope I answered all your questions. And yeah, I'll go ahead, check out their YouTube channel. Let me just drop the link to their YouTube channel again. Black Echoes of the Gambia. There we go. Just click on that link. It will lead you to their YouTube channel. Thanks to everybody who supported this stream with a super chat. Trish Hamilton, thank you so much. I think you're the one I didn't shout out. Shout out to you, Trish. Thank you so much. I appreciate the love and support. So you can as well go ahead, support my platform on PayPal and Patreon. If you want to learn Swahili, I also offer Swahili lessons or classes on my Patreon family. Go ahead, click the link that I just shared on Patreon. You will learn more Swahili there. And also you'll get to see some videos that I really don't upload to YouTube. So thank you so much. Until next time. Oh, thank you so much, Goddess Wisdom TV. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Asante sana. So let's meet tomorrow again. Asanteni sana.